Warren Buffett had a third partner you've never heard of. His name was Rick Guerin. Same era, same strategy, same brain. And in the early 70s, he got wiped out. Buffett said it plainly in a letter years later. Charlie and I always knew we'd get very rich. We were just in no hurry. Rick was in a hurry. So when the market crashed in 73 and 74 and Rick was leveraged, he got margin called. He had to sell his Berkshire Hathaway stock to Warren Buffett at under $40 a share. Today, that same stock trades for over $600,000 a share. Same intelligence, same information, opposite outcome. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you start investing in your late 20s. Getting rich and staying rich are opposite skills. And if you don't know that, the market will teach you the hard way. Morgan Housel wrote about this, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Getting rich requires optimism. It requires taking swings, putting money at risk, betting on the future being better than the past. Staying rich is the opposite. It requires humility, paranoia, an almost annoying suspicion that everything you built could disappear overnight. Most people, especially in our age bracket, only train the first skill. We read about 10-baggers on Reddit. We hear about someone's cousin who went all in on some coin and quit their job. So we optimize for offense. Nobody teaches defense. And defense is what actually keeps you in the game. Look at the numbers. Roughly 40% of all publicly traded companies lose essentially all their value over time. Not underperform, lose everything. The Forbes 400, the list of the richest Americans, turns over about 20% every decade. 1 in 5, gone. Not because they got poorer in absolute terms necessarily, because they made one bet that didn't come back. So how do you actually play defense when you're just starting out and your portfolio is small? 2 ideas. First one, rethink what cash is for. Everyone online will tell you cash is trash. It earns nothing. It loses to inflation. And technically they're right, but cash isn't an investment. Cash is a tool. Cash earning 1% might feel useless. But if that cash is what stops you from selling your index fund at the bottom of a 50% crash, it's worth multiples of what it earned. It's the thing that lets you stay invested when everyone else is being forced out. That's the Rick Guerin lesson. He didn't lose because he was wrong. He lost because he couldn't wait to be right. Second idea, barbell your mindset. Be aggressively optimistic about the long term. 20, 30 years from now, markets will almost certainly be higher, technology will be better, and boring index investing will have quietly made you wealthy. Believe that. But be borderline paranoid about the short term. The next 12 months, anything can happen. Recessions, job loss, a medical bill, a market that drops 30% for no clear reason. Housel puts it this way. Plan on the plan not going according to plan. Your plan needs to survive you being wrong. It needs to survive a bad year, a bad decade even. Because the goal isn't to maximize returns this quarter. The goal is to still be holding the position in 20 years when the compounding actually matters. Rick Guerin was smart enough to be a billionaire. He just wasn't set up to survive one bad market. Buffett was. So here's the question worth sitting with this weekend. What's the single event that would force you to sell at the worst possible time? Job loss, a busted transmission, a relationship ending. And what's the smallest buffer, the smallest, most boring pile of cash that would prevent it? Because that buffer isn't the part of your portfolio that makes you rich. It's the part that lets you stay rich long enough for the rest of it to work. Next video, we're breaking down exactly how big that buffer should be at different income levels, and why the standard 3 to 6 months advice is probably wrong for most millennials. See you there.